Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Battle Report. I'm Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Tier 1 Cards and Games in Anchorage, Alaska, where I'll be fighting a 200-point kill team game between my Dark Angels and David's Orks. Wow. So, the story that we've got going on here today is that the Orks had held this former Imperial planet for many years, and the Dark Angels were sent to go cleanse the planet and take it back in the name of the Emperor. And they sent forth a small scouting force to go establish a foothold in this particular sector and cleanse it of the orc trace there and allow the rest of the Dark Angel army to move in. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be playing the push forward mission with the three objectives. So before we go any further, let's show you the two armies and specialists that will be fighting you today. So for the Dark Angels, I'll be running a 5-man tactical squad with a heavy bolter, and a 2 land speeder squadron, with one with a heavy flamer and an assault cannon, and the other with just a heavy bolter. For the Orks, we have a 6-boy Storm Boys squad with a knob with a big choppa, and we have a 10-boy squad with a big shooter. We also have a knob with a big choppa and a truck with a big shooter. So for the Dark Angels, from left to right, we have my leader, who is seizing initiative on a 4+. Then I have my weapons specialist with Reaping Volley, so you can shoot at different targets with each of his shots. Then I have my Dirty Fighting specialist, who has Murderous Blows, rerolling failed to wound rolls in close combat. And then I have my Indomitable specialist with Relentless. And for the Orks, from left to right, we have his leader, who is seizing initiative on a 4+. We have his weapon specialist, who has Expert Shot, giving him +1 ballistic skill. Then he has his Dirty Fighting specialist with Soul Blaze. And then he has his Guerrilla specialist with Infiltrate. Alright, so those are the two armies that are going to be fighting out today. Going over deployment here, I've got my my weapon specialist there on the right. Got a regular Bolter Marine. I've got my land speeder with the assault cannon and heavy flamer there. I've got my other land speeder here. I've got my the leader in the back there. I've got my Relentless guy in the front left there, and my Murderous Blows guy there on the right. Going over Orc deployment, he's got a bunch of dudes all lining up along here. He's got a bunch in the 4 guys, including his knob inside of the truck there. And then we've got a couple more of the Storm Boys there, and then he's got his infiltrating Storm Boy back here, 18 inches away from my guys over here. So that's the story that we've got going on, and that's the deployment. Our objectives are right over here, here, and there. So before we go any further, as of right now, the Orks are going to be going first. But I will, because of my, well, actually, I won the roll-off and had him deploy first because my leadership skill gives me a seize on a 4+. So let's see if I can seize on a 4+. Show me a 4+. No, I do not. Oh boy. All right, so we will come back to you after movement phase for the Orks here on turn 1. All right, movement phase for Orks here on turn 1. This guy jumped up here, passed the dangerous terrain test. Those are not Orks. These guys jumped up here, passed dangerous terrain test. He jumped up there, passed the dangerous terrain test. He drove through here and immobilized himself. These guys stood still. They also stood still, and another guy jumped up here, passing his dangerous terrain test. So that is it for the movement phase here for Orks on turn 1. We'll come back to you with a shooting phase. All right, so his big shooter here is going to fire into my leader over here. So rolling 3 shots, hitting on a 5. We got 1 hit. So want to roll that again? What is the strength of the big shooter?
It is strength 5.
Strength 5, so wounding on a 3.
Come on, come on.
No wound. All right. All right, and he is going to be firing at my leader over here. Ballistic skill 2. So hitting on 5.
Lunatic power, activate.
Nope. All right.
Within here.
All right, his big shooter is going to fire into my guy over here. He's got that's his weapon specialist with +1 ballistic skill, so he'll be hitting on 4s.
4 up.
So 3 shots, 4 up.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Got 2 hits, strength 5, looking for 3s to wound. We got 1, 2 wounds. All right. 2, 3 up armor saves. And he is good with double filth phase. Woo! Alright, so that is it for the shooting phase for the Orks. He's got no one that can charge, and he's got a few runs he's going to do, but those are born to watch. So we will come back to you after a movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 1. Alright, movement phase for the Dark Angels. These guys shuffled around here looking on this guy. He shot up this way, he shot up this way, and these guys both stood still. So that's it for movement phase for the Dark Angels. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. Alright, so starting off the shooting phase, the guy on the left there is going to rapid fire his bolt gun into this guy. So, hitting on 3s. We got 1 hit. Strength 4, toughness 4. Wounded on 4s. Nothing. Alright, moving on here to my guy with the heavy bolter. He's got the reaping volley, so he's going to fire 1 shot into this guy. 1 guy shot into the big shooter, and then 1 shot into the regular guy. Actually, 2 shots into the big shooter. That's what I do. 1 into him, 2 into the big shooter. So we'll do the 1 on the front guy there, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Strength 5, wounded on a 3. No, nothing there. So then I've got 2 shots into the big shooter guy, hitting on 3s. Got 1 hit, wounded on a 3. That's a wound. You've got 5 up, becomes a 4 up cover save.
Come on.
Yeah, and he is good. All right, he is going to fire into the orc on there. So 3 shots with the heavy bolter, hitting on 3s. All right, 2 hits, wounding on 3s. Got 1 wound. He's got a 3 up cover save in the ruins there. That's good. All right, so he's going to fire into him. Heavy flamer is going to hit him. So wounding on a 3. That's a wound, and that's kills him because it goes through his armor. And that is first blood. Woo! All right, my leader here is going to fire into him. Hitting on a 3. It's a hit. Wounding on a 4. No. Then this guy's going to fire. He's going to rapid fire with his bolt gun. Hitting on 3s. That's 1 hit. Wounding on a 4. That's a wound. 4 up cover save because of night fight. No, and he is dead. And this guy is going to fire into that guy over there, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4. No, nothing there. And that is it for the shooting phase for the Dark Angels, and nobody is in charge distance. So that will be it for the Dark Angels' turn here on turn 1. We will come back to you with Orks after Orks movement phase here on turn 2. All right, movement phase here for the Orks on turn 2. He jumped up over, or moved over 6 inches up to here. These guys all disembarked from the immobilized truck over this way. He moved to the edge over here. And those guys are making their way up over this way. And those guys stood still. So that is it for the movement phase here for the Orks on turn 2. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. Alright, so the big shooter from there is going to fire into my land speeder here. I am not going to jinx. So 3 shots, hitting on 5s. I've got 1 hit. Glancing on a 5.
Come on.
Oh, and that's a glance. Alright. Alright, the guy up here in the jump pack is going to fire into him. Not going to jink. Hitting on a 5. That is a hit. Glancing on a 6. That is a glance, and it is wrecked. Alright. Alright, we're going to start here on the guy on the left there. He's going to fire into this land speeder. I'm not going to jink. So hitting on a 5. Nope. Alright, now we're going to move this to shoot that guy into here. Hitting on 5s. Got 1 hit. Strength, looking for a 6 to glance. No, nothing there. Alright, so his big shooter there is going to fire into my other land speeder over here. I am not going to jink. So he's got the +1 ballistic skill, so hitting on 4s. We got 1 hit. Glancing on a 5. Yep, no, that dropped.
Alright.
5. That is a glance. Alright. And now this guy here is going to fire into my land speeder. Not going to jink. Hitting on a 3. Or hitting on 5. That's a hit. Glancing on a 6. And no, nothing there. Alright, that's it for the shooting phase. Moving on to the assault phase. He is going to charge into my land speeder here. He's got a 9-inch charge using his jump pack. So, looking for 9. Nope. Reroll. No, he does not make it. Alright. So that is it for the Orc turn here. We will come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 2. Alright, so this movement phase for the Dark Angels. These guys all moved up. He shot over this way. These guys stood still. So that is it for movement phase for the Dark Angels. We will come back to you with the shooting phase here on turn 2. Alright, so starting off the shooting phase, my land speeder is going to fire into his knob over there. So the heavy flamer can actually hit all 3 of them there. So we're going to start from 1, 2, 3. So we're going to start with the front guy there. Wounding on a 3. And he is dead. On the next guy, he is also dead. And then onto the knob. Nothing. All right. And now I fire the assault cannon into his knob over here. So we got 4 shots coming in, hitting on 3s. 4 hits. Strength 6, so wounding on 2s. We got 4 wounds. He's got 4 up cover saves. 4 up cover saves. No, and he's dead. He takes the 2 wounds. All right, and that is Slay the Leader. Woo! All right, the guy on the left here is going to rapid fire his bolt gun into his Storm Boy up there. So, hitting on 3s. We got 2 hits. Fill faces. Wounding on 4s. We got 1 wound. 1 4-up cover save. And he's good. All right, so my guy on the left there is going to fire into his Storm Boy up there. Rapid fire range, hitting on 3s. We got 2 hits, wounding on 4s. We got 2 wounds, 2 4-up cover saves. Whoop. And he is dead. All right, the guy on the right there is going to fire into his guy up there. So, hitting on 3. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4. No, nothing there. All right, and then my Reaping Volley guy is going to fire 1 shot into his jump pack guy here and 2 shots into his big shooter guy. So, we'll do the 1 shot into the Storm Bolter guy and the Storm Boy guy. So, hitting on 3. No, and then I got 2 shots into the big shooter, hitting on 3s. We got 1 hit, wounding on a 3. That's a wound. 5-up cover save.
All the time dice. Let's go!
Oh, and he is dead. All right, I got 1 guy that's going to run. Everyone else is already shot. So we will come back to you after, and no one's going to charge, so we'll come back to you after the movement phase for the Orks here on turn 3. All right, movement phase for the Orks. This guy is moving up this way. These 2 guys are running through there. He is up in here still. These guys immobilized. He's jumping over around this way. He's jumping down this way, and those guys back there are holding their ground back there. So that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase here on turn 3. All right, starting off the shooting phase, the guy on the right there is going to fire into my shooter. Land speeder with his shooter. So, hitting on 5s. We got
5 and a 6.
1, 2 hits. All right. And then wound glancing on 6s.
Come on.
No, nothing.
Oh,
This guy on the left is going to fire into my heavy bolter guy there. So, 2 shots hitting on 5s. We got 1 hit, wounding on strength 4. Strength 4, so wounding on 4s. Got 1 wound. 3-up armor save. He's good. And now his Storm Boy is going to fire into my heavy bolter there, hitting on a 5. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4. That's a wound. 3-up armor save. And he's good. All right, so he's going to fire the heavy, his big shooter into my land speeder. I am still not going to jink. So 3 shots hitting on 5s.
Show me the 5s.
Oh, what? All right, 3 hits. All right, glancing on 5s. Oh, jeez. And 1 glance, and it is dead. Womp womp. This guy is going to fire into my leader over here. So 2 shots, hitting on 5s. Got 1 hit, wounded on a 4. That's a wound. 3-up armor save. He's good. All right, so that is it for the shooting phase. Moving on to the assault phase. He is going to try to assault into my heavy bolter guy there. I'm going to fire Overwatch. I got 3 shots, hitting on 5s and 6s because of Grim Resolve. We got 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. That's a wound. What's his armor save?
Dead.
Oh, he's just dead. Okay. All right. And that is... Nope. That is nothing. All right, that is it for the Orks turn here on turn 3. We will come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 3. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels. This guy's moving up over this way. These 2 guys are moving up over this way. He moved up that way, and he stood still. So that is it for movement phase for Dark Angels here on turn 3. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so starting out here, this bolter guy is going to fire into his the guy on the right there. So, hitting on 3s. Got 1 hit, wounding on a 4. That's a wound. 4-up cover save. He's good. All right, the guy in the front there is going to fire into this guy over here. 2 shots, hitting on 3s. Got 2 hits, wounding on 4s. Got 1 wound, 4-up cover save. And he is dead. And that is Break the Enemy. Woo! All right, my Reaping Volley guy is going to fire the guy on the right, and then 1 shot into each of those guys. So we're going to start front and go back. So the first guy there, hitting on a 3. No. First front guy in the back there, 3. No. And the back guy on a 3. Oh, finally hits. Wounded on a 3. Ah, that is cocked. No. Well done. All right, and this guy is going to fire into him. Rapid fire range, hitting on 3s. Got 2 hits, wounding on 4s. Got 1 wound. 4 up, cover save. Oh, and he is good. All right, so that is it for the Dark Angel's turn here. We will come back to you with the break test for the Orks here on turn 4. All right, so we're going to start over here with the leadership 7. He is good. Then to this guy here, 7. Is dead, or run away, I should say. We'll go in the back there. The guy on the left. Oop, I can't see, what is it?
It's 5.
It's 5, he's good. And then the guy on the right there. I can't see.
He's
9,
dead.
he is dead. All right. Then the guy on the left here is gone. And then the guy on the right here is also gone. Wow, that was pretty brutal.
Wait, there's 2 more.
All right. Oh, there's 2 more?
Oh,
There's 2 other guys back here. I did not see them. All right, so we'll go left and right. Left is gone. And then right is also gone. Wow, okay. That got really brutal. Sorry to be laughing, but that was pretty brutal. All right, so we will come back to you after movement phase for whoever's left here for the Orks on turn 4. All right, movement phase for the Orks. This guy's moving up. This guy's moving up. He is immobilized, and that is it. So we will come back to you with the shooting phase for the Orks here on turn 4. All right, this guy here is going to fire into him, hitting on 5s. We got nothing. Big Shooter is going to fire into my leader over here, hitting on 5s. We got 1 hit, wounding on a 3. That's a wound. 3 up. If I can find some dice. 3 up, armor save. And he's good with a filth phase. Woo! And he is going to fire his pistol shot into here, hitting on a 5. No, nothing there. So that is it for shooting phase. We will come back to you with the charge phase, the assault phase. It's the assault phase. Come on, Phil. All right, the assault phase. He is going to assault into him. I'm going to fire Overwatch. I've got 2 shots, rapid fire and bolt gun, hitting on 5s and 6s because of Grim Resolve. Nothing. So let's roll your distance for the charge here.
You always have to wah beforehand.
Got a wah.
1, 2, 3, wah!
And reroll that one. That's a cocked dice there. Yeah, that one. It's 12. That will get him in. So we will come back to you with a fight sub phase. All right. So he gets a Hammer of Wrath for using his jump pack there. So strength 4, base 4. So wounding on a 4.
6.
That is a 6. So that is a wound. 3 up, armor save. He's good. All right. We'll come back to you with initiative step 4. All right. Initiative step 4. My guy's going to go first. He's got 1 attack hitting on a 4. No, nothing there. So we will come back to you with the Ork attack. All right, so he's got 2 base attacks, plus 1 for extra close combat weapon, plus 1 for the charge. So 4 attacks hitting on 4s. We got 3 hits. Strength 4 because of Furious Charge. So wounding on 4s. We got 1 wound. 3 up armor save. And he is dead. All right, so he will consolidate, and then we will come back to you with the. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 4. All right, movement phase for Dark Angels. He stood still. He moved up. He moved up. And he moved over this way. So that is it for movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, he is going to fire into him. Hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4. No wound there. All right, he is going to rapid fire into this guy over here. So 2 shots hitting on 3s. Got 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. And he is dead. All right. All right, my heavy bolter guy is going to fire into his truck with all 3 of his shots. So 3 shots hitting on 3s. Okay, 1 hit. Glancing on a 5. No, nothing there. All right, this guy is going to throw a crack grenade into his truck over there. So hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Strength 6, glancing on a 4. That is a pen. Plus 1 for being open topped. 3, so he is going to be snap firing. Okay, sounds good. All right, that is it for shooting phase. So moving on to the assault phase. We're going to start out. He is going to assault into there. I've got an 8-inch charge. And he is in. Just in. All right. And now my leader is going to assault into this guy over here. So he's going to Overwatch on a 6. Isn't it 1 shot? Because he's got a pistol, right?
You're right.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. A pistol, 1 shot. No, nothing there. So, charge distance. Threes will not make it. All right, so we will come back to you with the one fight that we got going on. All right, moving over here, he's going to attack with the one crack grenade. So, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Glancing on a 4. And it's a 5. It is a pen. Let's see if it explodes, because he's going to be a wreck. But let's see if it explodes, because it's open-topped. It does not. So it is just a wreck. All right. So we'll come back to you with Orks break test here on turn 5. All right, coming out here, the one Ork left. Let's see if he runs away. Looking for a 7 on his leadership test. He's good, so he's sticking around. He wants to kill my leader real bad. All right, so we'll come back to you after a movement phase for the Ork. Ork, not Orks, Ork. On turn 5. All right, end of the movement phase. He moved up there 1 inch away, so now he's going to shoot him in the shooting phase. Hitting on a 5, that's a hit. Wounding on a 4. No, nothing there. So we may as well just move straight into the assault phase. So I am going to try to overwatch here on a 5 or a 6. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4. It's a wound, and he's dead. So that's how it goes. My leader, as the last Ork comes flying at him with the jump pack, he holds up his bolt pistol and just pow right between the eyes as he goes and veers off into the outhouse over here. So that is the end of the game with a Dark Angel victory. That was brutal. It was awesome and a lot of fun. I think once I broke him and he lost all those guys in that first break test, it really turned the tide. But I mean, two of my two land speeders got taken down. One of them by a pistol. Who does that? He does that. David does that. So, yeah, sure, we can do Hail of Nation. Excellent. So, I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I had a blast. Kill Team is a lot of fun and quick and great. So, I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I've been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. My opponent's been David. Until next time, have fun.